Hey everybody, KC here. So I'm actually outside St. Louis, and we are down here for a wedding, and we decided to visit my Aunt Sally. Now, my Aunt Sally is actually the widow of my Uncle Donald, who was the oldest in my dad's family. My Uncle Donald was the oldest, my dad was the youngest, and Aunt Sally is actually the last surviving member in our family of that generation. She's the last one, 89, she's gonna be 90 next year. And it's been a really fascinating visit. And one of the things it reminds me is of how important history is. And we're learning all sorts of stuff that was really interesting, stuff I had no idea of. For example, my Uncle Donald had, after the war, late 40s, early 50s, he had a paint and varnish business. And they were a little storefront, and they were retailing paint and varnish. And my dad worked for him. And one of the things that happened is they got this contract. They were going to sell paint and varnish to a guy who had this enormous yacht boat that was apparently parked in the Gowanus River, and he was going to use the paint and varnish to refurbish this yacht, this boat. And they sold him the paint and varnish, but I guess what the deal must have been something like, okay, here's the deal, but when I sell the boat, that's when I'm going to be able to pay you. Well, it ends up, this is the thing that put my Uncle Donald and my dad out of business, because the yacht, it was Hitler's former boat and yacht, and the guy couldn't sell it, and which is really fascinating, because today you figure, oh, people would probably buy that. Couldn't sell it, and that's the thing that put them out of business. My dad was, teaching at the time. Uncle Donald went off to do other things. I'd never heard this story before. It was like, this is fascinating. Who would have dreamed? But here's the thing, personal histories, they're fascinating. So are business histories. Every business, especially every retail business, have stories like this. Stories of things that went right, stories of things that went wrong. And when the people who basically populate a business, from leadership right on down, if they understand the business's story, they can actually better represent that business. History is important. Stories are important. Narrative is important. And the more we know about these things, the better we can serve our businesses, our customers, our families, our children, whatever it happens to be. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.